Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the Home Weather Office on this Wednesday morning. It's now the 17th day of July, 2024. This is the morning briefing. Interesting morning. If you've been outside this morning, if maybe you had the windows open this morning, you noticed it was a relatively cool morning. Many areas in the valley starting off with temperatures in the mid-50s. It's the coolest morning we've had since June 21st. You have to go back that far before you find a morning with temperatures in the 50s. So a nice cool start. It is going to start to warm up a little bit over the next couple of days. And well, by tomorrow and Friday, we'll likely see valley temperatures at or above 100. We don't see the 110s, 113s, but we're likely going to see some hotter afternoons. But today, still relatively comfortable. One other note about today and some of the heat we have had. I always look at today, July 17th, because today used to be the anniversary of the hottest day Sacramento has ever seen, 114. We did that almost 100 years ago, back in 1925, July 17th, 1925. Downtown Sacramento hit 114 degrees. That did stand as the hottest day Sacramento had ever seen until, well, 2 years ago. We saw 116 in September of 2022. But still, you look at this date, and this kind of marks the time of the year when we are seeing the hottest weather. The average high is 95, which is as high as it gets. Like I said, it's the anniversary of what used to be the hottest day we've ever seen. So this, to me, always signals about the time we see the hottest weather, or it's about the time when we peak. It obviously stays still pretty hot as we get into August, but from here, we will start to see the averages begin to trend a little bit lower. Here's what's going on this morning. Interesting satellite this morning because, of course, we have a nice marine layer. That's with the onshore breeze. That's why we have the morning temperatures in the 50s. But this is the other feature that I was trying to track down. A lot of smoke over Tahoe. You can see that you can't even really see Tahoe all that well. Pretty smoky on the west slope of the Sierra above about 4,000 or 5,000 feet. And I'm not sure exactly which fire this came from. There are a lot of relatively small fires that are burning on the west slope of the Sierra from Tuolumne County to the south. And so I'm not sure exactly what the source is for all this smoke, but as you can see, it does look as though it'll thin. So in the Tahoe Basin and on to the east side, over toward Gardnerville and Reno, if you're waking up some of that smoke and haze, that should be clearing. Let's talk a little bit more about the marine layer. Boy, it is nice and thick this morning. Here is the Fort Ord profiler. A couple of things to note. So the marine layer was yesterday up around 3,000 feet. Remember, this is 24 hours ago. This is now. But look at the last 10 hours or so. You can just see the marine layer decreasing now down to about, 2,000 feet, maybe 1,800 feet, and continuing to decrease. And with the decreasing marine layer, what we're going to be seeing is an increase in our temperatures. We are going to still hang on to some of the onshore breeze. Here's the breeze this morning, so you can just picture that cool marine air being pushed inland, and that's why we're getting this morning off to temperatures in the 50s. As we go through the afternoon, that breeze stays with us, but temperatures will be somewhat warmer. Now, the overall wind pattern doesn't change that much. This is during the day on Thursday. The wind a little bit weaker. It's still onshore, but it's a little bit weaker. And even into the late afternoon, when you start to see some of the stronger breeze usually, with the marine layer decreasing, that breeze will be less productive, and that's why you'll see afternoon temperatures likely around 100 degrees or so, maybe as high as 102 on Thursday, and maybe even a little bit warmer on Friday, but there will still be some onshore breeze, meaning the places like Napa County and Sonoma County will continue to run pretty nice temperatures. So here's the way the HRRR shows the temperatures this afternoon as we get toward about 5 o'clock. Most valley spots, 92, 93. The areas that'll be warmest will be around 95, 96, something like that. Closer to the water, you'll find temperatures in the 70s. Then tonight, we will see overnight lows be a little bit warmer. Most spots will drop down to the upper 50s to low 60s, whereas this morning we were in the mid 50s. So a slightly warmer start means a hotter day. And so that by Thursday afternoon, we'll see many valley spots up around 100, maybe 102, something like that. So hotter, but after what we have seen lately, I think we can deal with that. So let me show you the big picture here. Let me rewind this to the beginning because I was looking ahead down the road. So here's what we have going on this morning. This little low going by is helping to encourage that delta breeze, helping to push the high a little bit farther to the east toward the Four Corners area, which is what we'd like to see at this time of year. And it stays there as we head into the day on Thursday, but with a decreasing onshore breeze, that's how we get into the upper 90s to around 100 degrees. And then as we head into the weekend, another little low goes by. This is on Sunday. Another little low going by may help to moderate temperatures a little bit. But then as we go through the rest of next week, that high, instead of being over the Four Corners over here, instead it's centered over Bishop, basically. And that's a pretty hot pattern for us. Not quite sure how hot it's going to get. This is next Tuesday. And as we get into the middle of next week, that high just kind of expands. So it does look as though we'll see another round of heat next week, maybe getting back into the range of the 105s, something like that. So yeah, we do have more heat ahead. So this morning, nice and cool and comfortable, a bit of a break for this very warm month we are seeing. But as I just showed you, we are going to see a return to some heat later on this week, Thursday, Friday. Some temperatures up around 100, 102, maybe 104 Friday. The weekend, not too bad, but it does look as though that high moves in next week, and we could see a return to the 105s-ish range once again next week. We'll see how that develops. But either way, this very warm month and what's turning into a very warm summer is going to continue. So enjoy this little break while we have it. That's everything I've got for you this morning on this Wednesday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.